It's 8:30 a.m. on Friday morning of the biggest week that Bitcoin has ever seen. I mean, it started off on Monday with Tesla making the announcement. And by Friday, we're hearing that the mayor of Miami has got approval for his county to buy Bitcoin. This is huge news. I mean, it must be the biggest news of the week. And you may be asking, well, why is Crypto Man run on at 8:30? That's because it's Friday, guys. And on Friday, you know that on Friday we do Save My Crypto with Alex Mashinsky. And this is a running show where what we do is teach you how to save your crypto, how to make better decisions. We look at the market. We get the biggest trends in the market. We look at who's buying, who's selling. Everything that you need to know about how to save your crypto happens right here on Save Our Crypto. And that happens every single Friday at 8:30 a.m. EST. So guys, what I need you to do, because this is a new show, I need you guys to like, to subscribe, to smash the bell button, and to share this. And especially now, because YouTube is banning crypto content again. Believe it or not, even with everything that's going on, YouTube is still banning crypto content, and especially live content, because they hold live content to a much higher regard. And because we come to you live, we know that you want live information. You can't deal with information that's 3 days old. You want stuff that's happening now. And today, let me tell you, Alex has got some real scoop for us today, because he may know who's buying next in crypto. Yeah, he's got a theory about who's coming into crypto next. And let me tell you, this is huge. This is like, when he told me, I couldn't believe what he was talking to me about. He's also got some scoop on JP Morgan, on Goldman Sachs, on all the big banks around crypto. And then we're going to look at what happened and why Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Another thing that he's going to talk about is why Bitcoin can't break this 48,000 level. I thought that after the Tesla news, we were going to be at like 50,000, 55,000, 60,000. But we're not. We can't break 48,000. And I'm really, really, really surprised. And Alex is going to tell us why this is all happening. And then a big surprise. And that is the best business model in crypto. So as you can see, we've put together a gigantic show for you guys. And if you want the show, what I need from you guys is to smash that like. Smash that subscribe, share this content so we can get more people right now on the chat. I see there's 500 of you. I want you guys all to hit that like button. Let's get 500 likes so we can get this show on the road, and so I can bring my good friend Alex Mashinsky in all the way from a very, very cold New York City. Alex, welcome to your show, which is, of course, Save Our Crypto.
Hey, Ron, good to see you again. And yeah, the show is getting bigger and bigger every week. So
yeah. Alex, you're talking about a week. You're talking. The last time we spoke was a week ago. It feels like a lifetime ago. I mean, what's happened this week? Monday, Tesla. Wednesday, MasterCard. Thursday, PayPal. Friday, Mayor Suarez of Miami. What the hell is going on?
Well, I think this week, everybody should take a red pen and mark this week in the calendar or in your computer, because this week is the week where we moved from the early adopters to the mass adoption phase. You know, if you're familiar with that curve, the adoption curve, we're definitely both feet in the mass adoption. So that's a great thing. You know, we've all been working super hard to convince the rest of us that we're not just crazy and we don't just play with imaginary coins, but actually this is the future of finance. And finally, begrudgingly, all of these other people are finally joining the party. So great week, amazing week. And I think the good news is just starting.
Yeah, I must agree with you. I do think the good news is just starting. It feels amazing. And why it feels amazing to me is, you know, having been here for a while, not as long as you, but I've been here since like 2014, 2015. Having been here for that long, and knowing everything that we fought about, you know, first it was the techies that we had to fight, and then it was, you know, the retail investor, and so on. And so the fight went on. And now we're converting the banks. We're converting the big banks, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard. I mean, they were the enemy. Jamie Dimon was the enemy. And you gave me some amazing scoop earlier about what's happening in Jamie Dimon's bank. So let's talk about the scoop.
Yeah, so the president, not Jamie Dimon, but the next guy in line, the president of JP Morgan, finally stated that, yes, our customers, when they ask us to trade, we're going to start trading in Bitcoin, which means he's in a way admitting that they are making plans. They are going to support Bitcoin trading buying and selling on behalf of their customers. So that's great news. And also Goldman Sachs has secretly done internal planning and training sessions, bringing in outside experts to basically educate their team and start preparing products, commercial products for both their broker-dealer team as well as for their basic corporate sales team. So all these are like the strongholds, right? These are the two largest banks who kind of were saying we're never joining this party. I'm going to fire anyone who touches Bitcoin. And there's just too much money involved. Now they're basically saying, okay, fine, you guys are making a lot of money, we'll join the party. So
yeah, and I'm going to be talking about that on my show, which happens at 10 a.m. EST every single day. I've got a little segment about the banks, but what an amazing week for Bitcoin. As I said, the week started on Monday with the Tesla announcement, and that was this announcement over here that Tesla had bought $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. And I looked at the balance sheet, and I think if my memory serves me correctly, they had about $20 billion of cash on the balance sheet as at the last quarter, which means that they put about 10% of their balance sheet or 8% of their balance sheet into Bitcoin. So why was it $1.5 billion?
Yeah. So, and the funny thing is that they bought it first, and then they filed with the SEC to let everybody, their shareholders and everybody, know that they're doing it. So they kind of did it in reverse because they were in such a big hurry to grab the Bitcoins before prices go up, right? Because their announcement by itself made Bitcoin go up like crazy. So, look, any company with a treasury has to make this decision. Do I keep my dollars, which basically depreciate every day, right? They're being devalued every day with all the money printing. I can't earn any interest in it, right? So there's no yield or income. Or do I put it in an asset that hopefully will preserve the value of this stuff? So obviously for Tesla, it's also a branding thing. Being connected into the crypto community makes them even more cool than they already are. And the fact that they announced that they're going to allow the sale of cars, of Tesla electric cars with Bitcoin, and they're hopefully going to keep that Bitcoin. They're not going to just sell it, right? Tells you that their total Bitcoin is going to continue increasing very rapidly, and they're probably going to be the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. Right now, MicroStrategy has $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. So I think Tesla will be passing MicroStrategy very quickly.
Well, the more people that pass, the better. And that's the beautiful thing about this community, that you can buy your Bitcoin, and then what you can do is tell everyone around you why you bought your Bitcoin and make a big noise about it, and then everybody wins. So I always say
normally Wall Street buys first, and then they tell the retail guys, and the retail guys are the ones who are making the Wall Street guy rich. Here, we got it in reverse. Here, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan are the last guys to join the party. They're the guys who are really going to pump our bags. So this is revenge of the nerds. This is, Wall Street bets winning again. So this doesn't happen a lot in history, right? I mean, how many rounds did the retail guy win against the pros?
This is an absolute feat, and that's because of the genius design of Bitcoin. Because it's all about network effect. The more people that come onto the network, the more the value of the network is enhanced by the square, if you want to get technical about it. And that is exactly what's happening. So, we're just bringing more and more players on, and they're all incentivized to tell more and more players about what's going on. And that's exactly what's happening. Alex, you mentioned something which sends shivers down my spine. And every time you mention it, it sends shivers down my spine. And that is the US dollar. So I need some wisdom from you. I've always been taught to take profits from my altcoin trades. And I made money on altcoins, and I'm putting it into profits. And I used to put it into US dollar. Now I've started putting it into Bitcoin, Ethereum, US dollar, and some others. I'm very scared of the cash that I'm leaving in US dollars, but I'm also too scared to be overexposed to crypto. What do I do?
Well, in the last show, we did this asset allocation map. You guys did a great job of creating the 2x2 chart. and each person has to make their own decision. But the younger you are, the more risk you can take, right? So I think for younger people, and the crypto community is extremely young in general overall, on average. So you should not be keeping the vast majority of your assets in cash, even when you're trying to be. I mean, we are hodlers, right? The Celsius is a hodler community, so we always preaching hodling. But if you are scared or you worried about alts and so on, you should definitely not put all of it in cash. Now, today, cash like on Celsius is earning 12.5% USDC on USDC. So it's not as bad as just putting it back in your bank account. But still, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to outperform even cash with a 12% yield in the long term. So definitely, like when you see Cardano or Polkadot running like crazy, Cardano yesterday hit the third spot. They actually outperformed even Tether. That is rumors that they're going to be imminently all listed on Coinbase. So that's already all priced in. So if you have those coins, you had an amazing run. You should take at least half of that and put it back into Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, I must agree with you. All right, Alex, let's move on. And you said to me that you wanted to talk about the fact why Bitcoin can't break 47, 48,000. What's standing in the way? How come we're not at 60,000, 70,000?
Yeah, so and we've seen that a few weeks ago, right? Bitcoin hit 41,000 and then had to retrench because there was massive amounts, like close to 20,000 Bitcoins were sold by mining operations and other and hedging guys who kind of like taking profits at those levels. So right now we're hitting that 47, 48,000. There's, I think, another Fibonacci level at like 56,000. So we're going to be testing several levels, and in each level you're going to have resistance, and it's really all about how much buying pressure or how many of us are coming and buying. Is it a one-time buy from Tesla that gets us there, or is this continuous pressure to the upside, and how many people are selling at all of those levels? So the more we hodl, the faster we get across 100,000. But look, a lot of people are basically saying, okay, it's too much, too fast. I'm dumping my bags. And again, they're moving into US dollars, which are being printed in the trillions. Just like in the next few weeks, they're going to print another $1.9 trillion to give everybody checks, right? $1,400 checks. So just imagine what's happening to that dollar, right? So I definitely recommend to people not to try to time the market specifically for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Stay in it, close your eyes, sit on your hands, whatever you need to do. Go to the fridge, whatever you need to do, just don't sell your Bitcoin.
So just do what I do. On the 7th of every month, I buy Bitcoin. I have a running order. I don't look at the price. I don't care what the price is. I have an amount. And every month, on the 7th of that month, I buy Bitcoin. And the last time I bought over 40,000, was the highest purchase that I'd ever made. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. And if we do get a correction, maybe on the 7th of next month, I'll average down. But if you do that, then you just remove another stress from your life. Alex, I wanted to say to you, talking about Tesla. Tesla's made more money on Bitcoin than they've made in the entire operations of their company ever.
That's right, because they never had a real profit. So you're right. That's a great point.
Well, not only them, hold on. MicroStrategy also made more money on Bitcoin than they've ever made in the 20, 30 years that the company's been in existence.
Michael Saylor definitely figured out that it's easier to be an ambassador for crypto than actually go and sell computer software or AI software to corporate America, right? He completely switched job. He's like, okay, right now I'm just an ambassador for Bitcoin. That's it. He's on every show, doing every interview, but it's great to have him and Elon and people like that in the crypto community. I mean, it makes all of our jobs so much easier.
You want to hear something funny? So I interviewed Michael Saylor earlier this week. Great interview. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I'll drop it here in the link. In fact, my producers, I know they're listening, but just drop the link here for that interview. But I said to him, Michael, right now you're much more a Bitcoin business than a software intelligence business. And he said, yeah. We issued a form to our shareholders and we define clearly what the business does. And I was like, okay, tell me what the business does. And he said, well, we're a software intelligence business, and we also have a large position, and we'll continue to buy Bitcoin. Okay, so you're a Bitcoin fund, and you also have a software business. Call it what it is.
Right, that's right. And look, I mean, it's definitely something very different that it's hard for people to understand. Everything you described about how more and more people joining increases the value is something that is just very difficult for people to comprehend. So we just need to give it time. That's all you need. Everyone who's watching this show is early, and you just need to be in front of these guys.
Yeah, you're early. There's only two big Wall Street companies, of which only one is a Fortune 500 company that has bought Bitcoin. There's another guy in the comments who's saying, get stimulus check now and buy crypto. I think that would be amazing. Guys, when you do get the stimulus check, the $1,400, do me a favor and buy it all at once so we can track how many stimulus checks have gone into Bitcoin. Cool, Alex, let's move on because I know we are pushed for time today. I know you've got a crazy day running your unicorn, which is growing and growing and growing. But you have some speculation as to who may be next buying crypto. And from what I understand, you don't think it's any of these. I had a theory that it may be Larry Ellison or Oracle because they're sitting on 40 billion of cash. Apple is sitting on 200 billion of cash. Wondering who you think may be the next one.
So first, look, if you lived through the dot-com bubble back in 96, 97, 98, every company, a public company, went out and made an announcement. We are no longer, Apple, we're Apple.com. We're no longer Microsoft, we're Microsoft.com. So
even Starbucks, I'll never forget this. I remember the news that Starbucks declared itself an internet company because they were going to put internet in all their coffee shops. This was in 1999, 98, 99.
Right. So we're at the beginning of that process where everybody realizes that, gosh, if I just do something with Bitcoin, my stock price is going to go up. So, but the people that need this most, this kind of yield, are actually the insurance company. And we've seen one insurance company buy $100 million worth of Bitcoin. But you have to understand that the insurance companies have promised millions of customers that they're going to pay them 6 or 7%, and they're not earning any of that, right? So they're all struggling with, okay, how do I maintain that yield? And I think that pressure is going to force them to start buying this asset.
That is super, super interesting because, again, you think about what an insurance company's business model is. They promise to pay you X, and then they've got to go and find that yield.
Yep.
And that promise to pay you X is a fixed promise. So they've promised you that already. And today you're in a no yield world where government bonds are paying no yield, cash is paying no yield, stocks are at all-time highs, and only some stocks have a dividend yield, and that's pretty much saturated and going up. So it's very interesting. What you're saying is that they may come and say, hey, this is a good yielding asset for us. So this is the only place in the world today where we can actually get yield.
That's right. And so they have all these like 30-year bonds that are expiring. Those are the things that paid them 5, 6, 7% in the past, but they're expiring, right? All these things coming to end of life, and they need to redeploy those assets into new asset classes. And I think there's just nothing out there. I mean, you cannot get this kind of stuff. I mean, even with Celsius, we're seeing every day federally chartered banks calling us and saying, look, we're paying our customers 0.5%, but the Fed only pays us 0.2%. Can we park some assets with you and earn that yield? They want to earn it in USDC, right? But I think sooner or later, they're going to start also using Bitcoin and other assets. So I think, look, this is going to become an asset class, and we don't need an insurance company to put 20% of its assets. We just need them to put 1% of their assets. If Prudential or AIG or any of these guys put 1% of their assets, we're over $100,000 instantly.
So again, let me be clear. Let me be clear to the people that don't know this. But the biggest investors in the world, by far, bigger than anything, are the insurance companies, pension funds, insurance companies, life assurance companies. They are by far the biggest investors and biggest money managers in the world. Now, this is a great theory. It's logical that they need yield. There's a new asset class that's giving them yield. And we did hear of 1 or 2 insurance companies last year that are starting to invest in crypto, and I think that made
Right.
it okay.
So the one, I don't remember their name, but the one that did that amended the charter and basically made that purchase. So what you're going to see is many more of these insurance companies start amending their charter, and we've seen some of the largest investors in the world, like BlackRock, amended their charter, right? So they could basically buy Grayscale and other assets. So all these things are huge positive. These are huge indicators. And look, even in retail, we're only maybe 5% of the US population is Bitcoin today. So it's not like we are 50% adoption in retail, and we're like kind of like at the end of the cycle. We're just at the beginning of the cycle. So if you think 47,000 is a very high price and I'm stopping to buy here, you're making the biggest mistake of your life, because nothing has happened yet. The big guys are just now joining the party.
So I get lots of this week. I've got lots of friends that have cropped up, people that I've met before, haven't spoken to in many years. Now they're phoning me. They all of a sudden remember me.
You're popular again, right?
I'm popular again, and for me, like I've never been popular. So the thing is, they're all asking me the same question, and I give them the same answer: is it too late to buy Bitcoin? So my answer is, look, if you think that 1 week after the richest man in the world and probably the biggest technological forward thinker of our time bought Bitcoin, if you think that 1 week is too late to buy Bitcoin, then something's wrong with you. And I'll tell you another thing. When you watch Tesla or Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, buy Bitcoin, they don't look at the price. I mean, Michael Saylor just market buys $10 million. He just market buys. Like, not waiting for the dip. I mean, come on, guys. Let's play dip. No waiting for the dip. Market buy.
Your strategy is the best. Once a week or once a month, don't look at the price. Allocate a certain amount of money. Again, you cannot don't take a mortgage against your house and take that money, go all in on a Tuesday. So that's not a good strategy. But if you do it over time and you do it with, again, 10 to 20% of your assets, you're going to do well. That pocket of money is probably going to outperform the rest of your portfolio.
Yeah. Now, guys, I'm looking at this. I see that there's 1,000 of you in the chat and there's only 300 likes. So does that mean that the other 700 of you don't think that Alex is a good guy, or don't think that I'm a good guy? Let us know in the comments, because I'm very confused as to why there's a disconnect between the likes and the number of people in the chat. And now we're going to move on to the last part of the show, which is effectively what Alex calls the best model in crypto, the best business model in crypto. I'm actually dying to hear what this is about. Alex, what is this best model in crypto all about?
So there is a certain set of companies that have committed to distribute their earnings to their community, or to their holders, right? And Binance is a great example, right? So CZ through BNB, one of the best performing assets this year in 2021, rocketing. Why? Because again, we know that more and more people are trading on Binance. We know that they're going to give us, the BNB holders, 20% of those profits. And so all of that immediately translates into those savings. And they basically buy back, right? They do the buyback themselves, taking BNB off the market. So they're going to be coming to market every week buying BNB. Celsius is another example of this, right? We give 80% of what we make back. Every week we create yield, and we buy back those sell token off the market. So there's about a dozen of these projects, and they're all doing exceptionally well, right? So I think when a lot of people who are looking at, okay, where can I put my coins? They're betting on these low cap names, saying, okay, it hasn't pumped yet, so I'm just going to drop some coins there. I'm going to convert my Ethereum. And then Ethereum goes up 30% and that shitcoin doesn't move, right? So my point is that you have to look at the business model. Like Ethereum has an amazing business model, because now so many people are staking ETH into ETH2 or using ETH as collateral on the DeFi platforms, that creates scarcity. That's why the price is going up, right? So you have to look for very, very good business models. And if you follow the business model, it's not about the name, it's not about the hype, it's not about the chat rooms, it's about the business model.
So later on my show, I'm going to be talking about why I'm selling ETH. I mean, my community would never believe that I'm actually selling ETH. And later on my show, I'm actually going to talk about why I'm selling my ETH. And it's going to follow on from this discussion that we've just had. So don't forget to tune into that. I agree with you. I agree that there are too many tokens without a business model, so to speak. They are broadly labeled as governance tokens. And what they offer you is a seat at the table to vote for the next or the upcoming resolutions of a certain protocol.
Which we know, by the way, is all bullshit because, come on.
Well, it might not be bullshit. I just don't understand how a governance token, a seat at the table, one vote amongst 60, 10, whatever the number of votes is worth billions of dollars. Like billions.
Well, so look, the two top projects, I'm not going to name names, not to offend anybody, but the two top projects recently, even though the votes have passed the resolution, the people in power have refused to follow on the rules. So we know it's not really governance tokens, right? So my point is that really these are mechanisms that these DeFi projects have to basically shower free tokens on people. But again, as long as there's a mania and everybody's buying, the value is going to be there. But the minute people are trying to sell, the music stops, the value of those tokens is going to drop to zero because they don't really have a business model. So stick with the ones who have a proven business model, the ones who've created value for a long term, the ones that generate profit and then distribute those profit to the token holders, right? Instead of the shareholders. Those are the long-term models.
That is a proven business model. That is a proven model. Like you say, BNB does it. Celsius does something similar, not exactly what BNB does.
Well, we give 80% of revenues. They give 20% of profit. So we are 10 times or 20 times more. We have 10 or 20 times more leverage than Binance does. But the point is that both Binance and Celsius have limited supply, meaning there's no inflation because the number of token was created, maxed out in the day one. Bitcoin has inflation, meaning mining creates more Bitcoin. Ethereum has inflation. There's about 8% inflation for Ethereum. So you want to find a project that will never create more tokens, and the tokens are being taken off the market every week, every month, which creates that scarcity.
All righty, Alex, let's leave it at that for today. I think it's been an amazing show. I love having these shows with you. Can't wait for next Friday morning. And for you guys in the chat that you're watching, thank you. We watched you guys. We've seen all of you guys. Brait, Uzi, Lichfield, Wakefield, Mead. We see you all. Thank you for the love. And thank you for all the love that you're giving Alex and I. We see people here from Israel. We see Shlomi. We see you in the chat. Absolutely amazing. And if you guys are back here in about an hour at 10 a.m. EST, I'm going to do my show today. And we've got a big show for you today. We even think that Justin's son may be paying in for his woman again. And we're going to be talking about that on my show. So I'll see you again at 10 a.m. EST. Until then, if you are trading, trade well, my friends. See you all tomorrow. Alex, see you next week.
Thanks for having me. See you guys later.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.